He's strong enough. Yeah, get him a second to get back in there, man.
While we're waiting real quick,
No,
Zachariah 5, like,
no. I'm not for it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm looking at it.
You don't know what you're looking at. Nigga, we spent our whole 2 days on that.
I'm still trying to understand, like, vision. I can't envision the vision.
Man, this nigga wasn't paying attention.
Talking about the story?
Yeah, it's like,
No, I started another. I had to start another. What you don't understand? Then we make it plain upon the table so he can read more. Man, it's let's help him out, say, because he's slacking on his macking, man, and he limping on his pimping. Matter of fact, he ain't even limping on his pimping. He's simping on his pimping. Nah, y'all laughing. I would have said that because I would listen to a record the other day, and it's from that time period. And in fact, it was Cameron said that, John, because niggas don't know simping ain't got nothing to do with what niggas defined it now. A simp was a fake pimp. You know what I'm saying? So when they say you simping on your pimping, instead of getting paid, you paying. You know what I'm saying? You gonna pay to get laid, man. What kind of junk that is, man? I'm talking about you was a pimp. You ain't no pimp. You're a breast haven for hoes, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Boy, that boy done tumble. Shalom, brother Ernest, man. I'll let people get back in here because that junk froze. That's what you gotta tell these boys. Say, boy, you ain't no preacher, nigga. Boy, you a rest haven for the wicked, boy. What you is with your wicked self, man. You're a rest haven for sinners, man. How that word? Somebody gonna be like, he came to save sinners. Nah, you stupid bastard. We talking about what he said in Jeremiah, nigga. You don't turn the wicked from his way, boy. You a rest haven for the wicked, boy. Read that for them. They think I'm making that up, but Jeremiah 20. Just sit on the end, Leah, because Michael, who don't know Biggie rhymes, need to be comfortable. Got Biggie on the shirt, don't know the songs. Kind of junk that is. You know what song that is? Leah, you know what song that is? On her shirt. What song that is? You don't know that song. I'm gonna give you a pass because you young. She ain't young though. Nah, not for real. She young too. She wasn't alive when that song came out. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't alive when Pac died. So don't feel bad at me that you super young. These niggas been dead for 30 years, man. You don't realize that. It don't seem like that, but that nigga Pac been dead for 30 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. Shalom, brother Mark. Read them Jeremiah 23 and 7, man. See, I ain't making that up. Shalom, Mika. Man, she ain't pregnant for real. She just ate all the hostess cake.
Say, therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that they shall no more say, Yahuwah lived, which brought up the children of Yasharah out of the land of Egypt. But Yahuwah lived, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Yasharah out of the north country, and from all countries where I had driven them.
Come on.
They shall dwell in their own land. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I'm
Shalom,
like a drunken
man.
man. I'm like a man whom wine have overcome because of Yahuwah and because of the words of his Kadash. For the land is full of adulterers, for because of swearing, the land mourns. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil.
Evil.
And their force is not right.
It ain't right.
For both prophet and priest are profane.
They pro what?
Profane. And in my house have I found their wickedness, saith Yahuwah.
Found that. What else?
Wherefore their ways shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein.
Listen.
For I'll bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, saith Yahuwah.
And I've seen folly.
And the prophets of Samaria.
They prophesied what?
And Baal, and caused on people Yasharah to err.
I've seen.
Also in the prophets of Jerusalem, a horrible thing.
They do what?
Commit adultery.
Walk in what?
And lies.
And strengthen what?
The hands of evildoers.
And none.
Do return from his wickedness.
See, them niggas a rest haven for the wicked, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? But you ain't supposed to be no rest haven for no wicked people, man. Ain't that what he just said? They're a rest haven for the wicked, man. Man, that ain't what they do. Man, I ain't got time for you trolling, nigga. Hey, come on, what you don't understand is let's help him out. What he don't understand is Zechariah 5, man.
Really just what's really going on.
What that nigga put on that damn shirt?
I know he's saying the
I got you. Just chill. Revelation 18:1, man. Shalom, Quran, man.
And after these things, I saw another Malachim come down from Shamaim.
Come down from where?
Shamaim having great power, and the earth was lightened with his esteem.
Uh-huh.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying,
What'd he say?
Babylon the great is fallen.
Now, we just read that it's fallen. Now, before it stopped, I would tell you that Isaiah 21 on the natural side is dealing with the Medes taking down Babylon. Go ahead.
And become the habitation of devils.
Habitation of what?
Of devils, in the hold of every foul spirit, in the cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Everyone.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of
Now, we talked about that cup last night. We read it in Jeremiah, if you recall. Read it again. Jeremiah 51:8. This is the first thing that why you got to see she weighed in the balance. Why there's an ephah that's after their resemblance that's go between heaven and earth. That's referring to the fact that their judgment is reached under heaven and their base is in the land of Shinar, which is in Babylon. And now they finna get ready for the judgment to be rendered. That's where them 6 horses come in at. In chapter 6, or the 4 horses, excuse me, the horses that people are familiar with in Revelation are what people call the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which they just made up. You know what I'm saying? But taking 2 concepts and mashing them together, I should say. Go ahead.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so she may be healed.
She may be healed.
We would have healed Babylon.
We would have.
But she is not healed.
Why not?
Her, let us go everyone to his own country.
Why?
For our judgment reach unto Shamaim.
Her judgment reached to where?
Unto Shamaim.
She reached to where?
Shamaim.
Hold on. It's lifted up where?
Even to the sky.
Pause. Now you stay right there. Read it again for him.
So we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country.
Why?
For our judgment reach unto Shamaim and is lifted up even to the sky.
So when you read verse 9, then I lifted in Zechariah 5, when I lifted up my eyes and looked, behold, there came out 2 women. The wind was in their wings. For they had the wings like the wings of a stork. And they lifted up the ephod between heaven and earth. Then said I to the Malachim that talked with me, whither do these bear the ephod, which is to lift it up, to lift up the measurement. He said unto me to build it in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established and set there upon her base. But before you get to that, it says in verse 6, I said, what is it? He said, the ephod that go forth. Moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead. This is a woman that sit in the midst of the ephod. And he said, this is wickedness. Cast it in the midst of the ephod. What is the ephod representative again? A scale or measurement. So their wickedness has been measured. And as we read in another place, they've been, well, we read in Daniel, the handwriting on the wall, you've been found wanting. You're deficient. What this is dealing with is the judgment is reached unto heaven. See, Shinar lets you know who they're talking about. They're talking about Babylon. Read it again in Jeremiah 51.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed.
Yep.
We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
She's not healed.
Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country.
Go ahead.
For her judgment reach unto Shamaim and is lifted up even to the sky.
Her judgment reach where?
Unto Shamaim.
And her judgment go where?
Lifted up even to the sky.
What else?
Yahuwah have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahuwah our Elohim.
Yeah, that's facts. And we mentioned that last night, East. They got unequal weights and balances, which is an abomination. That's why we read a few of them verses that speak about unequal weights and balances. Because the book tell you, if you got an unjust balance, that's an abomination. You know what I'm talking about? That's an abomination. You can't move like that. Read Proverbs 11:1 on general principle. Man, school don't teach you how to be successful, y'all. You have to develop the principles of success. Come on and get on this $200 investment, and you can make $3,400 in 3 days. DM me, man, so you can trade. Some lady gonna hit me to my, you want a cash app blessing? So I called myself trolling. I'm like, sure. What's your cash app? I didn't think nobody would actually have this cash app tag. You remember Tyrone? Remember where Tyrone used to come up there and tell them people? That's what I told him my cash app tag was. You know, it was 4 people that was their cash app tag. You know what I'm talking about? I told her, yeah, the first one. Send it to them. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga get random $2,000 and you take it and you get scammed. That's your fault for being greedy. Not because it said you had to accept it. I mean, there's somebody you don't know or don't send you money. You know what I'm saying? Now look at man, if somebody just randomly cash app you $2,000-$3,000 and you don't know who it is, you got to be the damnest fool of fools to let me accept that bread. She told me, just send me my 37. I ain't sending you nothing. Because you ain't even send it to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why people play them type of games. If messing with me, boy, I take your $2,000 and delete that cash app and make a new one. See you scam that one, ho. Yeah, that's what you do to them. Go ahead, Proverbs 11:1. That's some equal measures for you behind right there in a minute.
False balance is abomination to Yahuwah, but a just weight is his delight.
A just weight is his what?
His delight.
I'm gonna read you something in Deuteronomy 25. What he say about that, right? I just want you to hear that that's an abomination and why Babylon catching what she catching. This is Deuteronomy 25:13. You shall not have in your bag diverse weights, a great and a small. You shall not have in your house diverse measures, a great and a small. You shall have a perfect and just weight. A perfect and just measure shall you have, that your days be lengthened in the land which Yahuwah your Elohim give you. For all that do such things and all that do unrighteously are an abomination unto Yahuwah your Elohim. Got a false weight and a false measure, you an abomination. So when he say take that ephah and weigh it, what he called that ephah in Zechariah 5? What he said it was? Wickedness. And what is that wickedness? What we've been talking about, they done had everybody drink that cup. Like a lady on Thread was talking about a dude saying that, you know, a man having multiple wives is natural. I wouldn't say it's natural. I'll tell you what it is. It's cultural. You know what I'm saying? Because I was looking at something because we done looked at it before because this lady was going back and forth about romance. And I'm like, romance, they say anthropologically, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And historically, there's not many cultures that had the concept of romance that we have now, which I already knew that. That's a Western thing. That's a United States thing. You can go in other countries, they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? This aspect of a nigga coming through here, sweeping you off your feet, bringing you flowers, standing outside with a beatbox in the rain, singing to you. Don't nobody else in the world do that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't view it in that capacity because it's cultural. You know what I'm saying? You have to begin to look at a majority of things from a cultural context. We like to take how we live here in America and try to stamp that on every society that ever existed, and they don't live like that. Because that's what I was telling you earlier. I find it funny. I have never seen so many women complaining about not getting nothing for Valentine's Day in my entire life. That let me know that niggas done with it. They like, no, I'm not doing that no more. I'm not buying you nothing. I ain't taking you nowhere. I don't care about that. And I mention that because now you're getting the shaming languages saying, oh, you men ain't this, that, there, and the third. These niggas done checked out for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? There's a multitude of reasons. I care not to go through all of them. Because they don't matter to us because we don't celebrate it anyway. But when you look at people who do celebrate it, they looking sick. Because the people who you want to give you this particular attention are saying no. Maybe that'll cause a cultural shift. Probably won't. But like if we was to go to Saudi Arabia, you think they celebrating Valentine's Day right now? Do you think them people mate with the mating strategy that people over here do? You go to China, you think they doing that? You go to Japan, you think they doing that? You go to I'm only mentioning that here because you have to start moving your mind from thinking that America is the center of the whole world and that what we do over here, that's what everybody else do because they don't. You know what I'm saying? Then when you understand that and you delve into it culturally, especially dealing with the word, you go like the lady say, you know, buying gifts and this stuff. Man, these men didn't buy women gifts like that in the 4th, 5th century BCE. Nobody did that. I mean, Ben told you that. You think people are going on dates? Hell no. Nigga go out here and they finna go in the house and hey, I got some mandrakes. What you trying to do? That's how that went down. Where were they going to go on a date at? I mentioned that because there was no places like that to establish for the purpose of commerce. You think dating is for love and attention. It's for commerce. They want you to come to these places so you can spend money. Because if you don't come to these places, guess what happens? These people go out of business. You know what I'm saying? They go out of business. You look at all these people who say, you don't never see none of these companies who sell candy until this goddamn time of the year in Easter. Now, all of a sudden, you see all these candy brands. Where you been at the other 10 months? Because this is when they look to make their money. It's the same token on, the root of it is, the word anyway, I believe is Roman. And hold on. That's what I'm saying. That's what it said. But listen, I had that jump pulled up too. Hold on. Now they say the origin of it. Now they trying to say it evolved in the hominids. That's something they done made up. You know, those are great apes. You can already cancel that because they trying to say you come from monkeys. You don't fall from mammalian mate choice or a courtship or an aspect of sexual selection. But some of them feel like, hey, there's nobody who really participates in that. Matter of fact, here goes the one that I found funny. It said it's been claimed on the basis of certain ethnographic reports that romantic love is limited to Western culture and does not exist in tribal societies throughout the world. For example, anthropologist Audrey Richards lived among the Bimba people in the 1930s and once told them a folk story about a young prince who climbed glass mountains, crossed chasms, fought dragons, all to obtain the hand of a maiden he loved. See, that's why niggas be simps, because I'm not doing all that. I'm dead serious, because you don't realize that if you get socialized that way, or what type of mentality that fosters in a young boy, or what he's supposed to do, and they end up doing it for women who are less than worthy of that type of attention. You telling me to cross over mountains and chasms and fight dragons to prove to you you should be with me? Oh, I'm gonna die. I'll fight a dragon, oh. A dragon? And all I get is you.
I feel like that's what they was kind of mocking the Shrek, though.
It was, because I seen some women going back and forth on. Yeah. I seen, no, listen. I seen some women on threads the other day going back and forth about Shrek. I've never watched Shrek because why I had no desire. You know why am I gonna watch that? You know what I'm saying? Now when Shrek came out, I was good and grown. You know what I'm saying? I was pitching work. You know what I'm saying? I ain't watching no goddamn Shrek. I ain't got no kids. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that the female love interest wasn't over herself. They was trying to say, oh, she settled for this man, and this, that, then, the third. And a lot of the women was like, he didn't even want this hoe. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, interesting. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to make it seem like she lowered herself when really these hoes be trying to transport their own trauma on these goddamn movies they be watching. Because I seen a woman say, all men say Love and Basketball is a great movie. I have never in my life heard any man say that Love and Basketball was a phenomenal film. Ever. I don't even know niggas who sit there and watch that on their own time. By themselves? I know it would be a great film to put on. Love and Basketball. That don't even sound like nothing a heterosexual male would do. You only watching that with your old lady, or you at the house, and that junk on BET or something, you like, screw it. So Mario, so I'll watch it. How you set the mood if ain't no woman there?
That's what I'm saying.
No, but they were trying to say that the woman was trying to say men identify with that movie because identify with that character or how he did that woman. I ain't never heard no dude say that was a fire movie.
I did. I was watching something and the man was like, that's one of his top movies. That's his favorite movie.
And that nigga probably gay.
No, she was like,
both of the girls.
Yeah, she was like, you're a red flag.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's tell you how stupid a nigga is, because you say a nigga red flag by the movie. A piece of fictional writing. Maybe he just liked the film. He was gay. Monica said that nigga gay.
He was.
I just said that.
We just going off his behavior. We don't know him, but he was, yeah.
But I just said the only nigga who gonna say that was a great film is a homosexual male.
Talk about this.
He was straight when he was talking. When he said it, it was like,
No, he wasn't straight. See, these the same people that'll watch Waiting to Exhale and then wonder how this woman got caught with a punk, talking about she didn't know. You knew that nigga was a punk. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the lady who wrote the film. She was married to a punk. She talking about she didn't know he was a punk. When they brought that punk out on Oprah Winfrey, man, how you ain't know this was a punk? Come on, man. It wasn't acceptable to have those type of characters, so you kind of write it out or change the character. Because this is early mid-90s. You couldn't have no openly gay character in no film like that. Man, I just seen a clip of Philadelphia when that punk tried Denzel Washington and how he snatched him up. Because that's how it was back then. Hold up, nigga, what you mean? We would have find you somebody to play with. Yeah, you couldn't be no open punk in the early 90s, man. And I was a little boy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, you had to. Them niggas was punk clandestinely. That's where the term in the closet came from. Now they punks in the open. Yeah, that's what I just seen. Because I ain't seen Philadelphia in years. You know what I'm saying? That was a groundbreaking film to have a movie centered around an AIDS infected punk. Because they didn't put stuff like that out there in the public back then. You know what I'm saying? No, oh no, absolutely.
That's why they killed my dude on the highest one and shit.
Yeah, you talking about Stanley Kubrick? Yeah, he made that movie and he died not too long after that. Man, I watched that movie. That movie was trash, man. It made me seem like this junk was exposed and something. Man, wasted 3 hours of my life watching that goddamn movie. Man, watch that movie with Diva. Yeah, now it was now.
They said the ending. They said they changed the ending.
That is true. They did say they changed the ending after he died. I can't say that. So, but listen to this part, right? It says the Bimba, however, became bewildered by the story, prompting an old chief to ask the question, why not take another girl? So we saying, why would you cross over glass mountains and cross chasms and fight dragons? Why? Like, to them, that concept didn't make any sense. But in America, you would think, why would you want an easy woman? Yes, I do. You know what I'm saying? Why would I, if I had a choice of a woman who liked me or a woman that I need to cross over chasms, fight dragons, and climb over mountains, why would you think I would choose that? But I'm mentioning that in regards to the social engineering. You understand what I'm saying? That's social engineering. When you see multiple films like that, you see Cinderella, you want your Prince Charming, this, that, there, and the third, that leads to you coming in to reality thinking that man should perform like this man did in this romance novel, in this rom-com, on this song. And then you realize ain't nobody out here who really do that for real. So that's where you start to have the disconnect between genders, because like I said, if you was to go overseas, you're not going to have all that. They married for completely different reasons. You know what I'm saying? They did not do all that. You can't see the concept of what we call romance in the Bible. When I say that, meaning it's for fast, what we see it as. Like when you see in Songs of Solomon him singing about his wife, that's him declaring, okay, I love this woman. She's beautiful. This, that, then the third. That's not abnormal. But what we call romance, oh no. Ain't nobody finna be singing out here because they didn't do all that. Your daddy met my daddy. We made an agreement. Y'all got married. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't around here. I just seen a lady today say, do you think people who married their high school sweetheart missed out on experiencing other people? That's hoe talk. You know what I'm saying? That's hoe talk. Because why do you feel the need that you need to go 10 to 15 years experiencing other people? Because you ain't talking about having experience. What experience you trying to have, ho? I know what type of experience you trying to have. That's why you stupid. That's why you ain't got nobody now. Because you mad because this woman been with the same person since he was 16 and you 35 and you done been with 5 niggas this month. Because I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people think you missed a goddamn thing. Only thing you missed was a different sexual experience. And if you whittled your think your life is about different sexual experiences, you a hoe. And I ain't got no other way to put that. There's no other way I can put that. That's male or female. I wouldn't care who you were. Yeah, you's a hoe. Man whore, whoremonger, slut, maggot, whatever you want to call yourself. You have a mental deficiency or a degenerate. Because you know what happens when you do that? You have a lot of negative experiences and then you damage and you want somebody who ain't went through all that to help you carry that and fix that while you destroy their life. Do you know what I'm saying? Nah, you need to go through all that. Jay said that movie was trash. I didn't like Love and Basketball just because I felt like the whole story was stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them films I looked at that like, baby, why you still trying to talk to this nigga? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even looking at it a lot. You know, a lot of people want to look at stuff and suspend disbelief. You know what I'm saying? When I look at that junk making me mad. Because if that was my sister or son, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Nigga tell you, I love you. Let's shoot for it. And you did it, ho? And you did it? You know what I'm saying? Like what's wrong with you? You don't love yourself? Did the family fail you or something? Your self-esteem can't be this low. I wouldn't even like this here too. She get this slap. She don't get this part. She get pimp slap because you disrespecting the whole family. Nah, for real, bro. Like, I forgot what movie we were looking at. It was a character on there like this nigga pissing me off. I forgot what it was. One of the movies them Detroit niggas made on too, man. The character, just the way he operate, nigga, you making me mad. No, that was new. You making me mad, bro. You stupid. When I see people who do things that are just completely, you just trampling upon your dignity and self-respect, that just agitate my soul. What's wrong with you? Huh? I've never watched The Notebook. I ain't watching that junk. That junk look like it's gay from start to finish. No, it's not. Because from the premise I done seen about that movie, that nigga's a sucker and a fool. A sucker and a fool. See, that's the same premise, how you said it's beautiful, is that premise of romance of a nigga disrespecting his manhood to get with somebody who don't really want him. No, she didn't. Because if she wanted you ain't got to go through all that. That's my point of how romance is damaging to a man. Because if a woman wants you, you don't have to go through all that. You don't have to cross no chasms. You ain't got to climb no mountains. You ain't got to fight no dragons. You ain't got to do none of that.
Well, I would say she did want him. But what he did to get her was just, yeah.
Oh, he was dirty Mackin'?
No, her family, because she's rich. Her parents was like, he's slow, you're not dating him. So her parents separated.
Because he was supposed to. See that, and that be the other junk. That's what he's supposed to do. We didn't birth you to marry this broke behind nigga, man. See, that's poor people stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because poor people want you to have that story of we just want to marry for love. People who care about their children's outcome, absolutely not. I'm picking your job course for you, your major for you.
But her mama was better because she married a man she had married and she hated him. She was still stuck over her ex that was poor. She wanted her poor ex.
Yeah, and you know what she realized? I could be with this poor nigga and happy. Look how we living, ho. That's your problem. You want love and happy. You want love and happy. You broke though. You broke though. You know what I'm saying? You want you ain't got no daughter. You know what I'm saying? You want your daughter to be, I'm in love, but we live in a one-room shack. Or you want to, hey man, shoot. He taking care of her. Because you know why? Because you want love. That's my point of different societies, because they didn't marry for that. That didn't even come into play.
That's not even real.
It ain't.
That what you said?
It's not. It's not. That don't happen.
Show me that in real life.
It don't happen. If it do, it's rare.
Right.
Oh, cool. We ain't been around enough rich people to know.
No. Two poor niggas talking about we need love and happy and we poor.
No, I know a lot of people was, man. I knew a lot of kids who grew up and because of the love they have in their house, they didn't even know they were poor. You know, they didn't even know it's poor. It got to take two people who. Now it depends if you talking about poor, like we ain't got it, or abject poverty.
I'm saying somebody that came from money.
Oh hell no! Yeah. Yeah, no, not nobody coming for no money.
I'm saying
Somebody who come from money who
go to be poor and broke with somebody and say they really happy.
Man, ain't no woman on earth gonna be happy with that. Ain't gonna happen. Any woman tell you that, she a goddamn lie. Because no, hell. See, we ain't talking about you used to doing middle class stuff. We talking about really come from money, really come from wealth. Man, ain't no woman volunteering to do that, bro. That junk all fantasy world. That's all fantasy world. You think you come from a family worth $50 million? You want to come live with a nigga who work at McDonald's for love? You know the only people who do that? Men. Men the only people stupid enough to go do that. Because women not doing that. Men will walk away from their family, walk away from their inheritance, walk away from all type of stuff because they love her. A woman is not doing that. She's not that goddamn stupid. Yeah, man, women ain't that stupid. Yeah, women ain't that stupid. Women ain't doing that. She know better. Men will do that though. Men will do that though. Women not doing that. Go ahead, man. What we at with it? No, because see the thing is, no, they don't. You ain't never heard no woman coming from extreme wealth and means leave and forsake all that behind for a dude. They don't do it. Women don't do that. And I don't blame them for not doing it.
So then why do women cheat on their rich husband?
Man, look at that. That's for wee.
Oh,
Not leaving.
She ain't leaving.
okay.
Yeah, you could bust up my back because usually the rich nigga ain't dropping no pipe. So she want the broke nigga because he breaking her back. And he got the availability because he poor to give her penis on command. See, the rich nigga getting to the money, he ain't got time to break her back every day like she want. Or he can't break it like she want. But he taking care of me. I'm satisfied. I'm stable. I can stay here. You know what I'm saying? But a woman is not who come from wealth. I'm talking about come from wealth. Is not going to forsake her family and forsake her inheritance to go be with a broke dude. She not doing that. Dudes will forsake everything they have to go be with this chick who his family telling them not to fool with because he's stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I give women that. Women ain't stupid enough to do that. And I respect it. Because you shouldn't. Like, why would you do that? What benefit do you get from that? You can't think of none.
That's what they were trying to do on the Titanic.
Yeah. That's stupid.
But that's again what he's saying. These are movies. That's not real.
That's not real.
It's not real.
Again, and that's the formulation of what I'm talking about is the formulation of romance.
That's what makes the movie good, 'cause it don't make sense.
This is a formulation of a social engineering that make you believe in a concept that doesn't happen in reality because nobody who's sensible is going to do any of these things. Nobody. That's the part of drinking from the cup.
There you go.
The rap for a flank?
Yeah, drinking from the cup in reality is social engineering.
It's the lie.
You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, that's why I reference all this stuff, and I've got to get the definition of the origin of the romance for Emma. But that's why I went through all that and mentioned all that and read all that, because I mentioned it last night. It's social engineering. But of course, the text is not calling it social engineering when you drinking from her cup of the wrath of her fornication. But that's what it is, because she has a thought process, doctrines, ways of living that she's pushing and promoting, and she needs you to drink from the cup so you participate, because when you participate, that's what gives her strength. That's what gives her wealth. Or as we read in Ecclesiastes 7, her heart is like snares and nets, and her hands are like bands. And those who please God will escape from her, but the sinner will be taken. Because you're going to take from that. That's why we read 1 John, don't love the world, because it's the lust of the eye. It's creating a fantasy world that does not exist. Because some of this stuff these people put in these films and put in these music and put in these romance. Man, I had a young chick who we used to fellowship with, man. She thought her whole life should go like a romance novel. I said, baby, that's a book. You want a nigga to come in your life and emulate a character in a book he ain't never read. That nigga don't exist. Nigga would rather have a character in a romance novel than a godly man in their face. You know what I'm saying? That's how weird it is. But I don't blame you all the way, because you've been socialized to think that way. So you think it's normal. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way dudes been socialized to think that I should be basically an economic slave to my woman, to my children, and work myself to the bone till I die, because that's what make me a man. Make you a damn fool, what it make you. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, why I say this here, dudes say, okay, if we on an island, right, and it's one piece of meat, and we cook it, he said, who you think should eat it first? If it's you, your woman, and your children, who you think should get the biggest portion of that? You see that there? See, Monica a real nigga. Why the man should get it, Monica?
Because he knows a lot of this and more.
See, she a real nigga. He got to have the strength to go get it. If he makes sure all y'all got it, he ain't got nothing. He ain't got no strength to be able to do nothing to bring some more back. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what the dudes, and I already, because that's how I looked at it too. All the people in the room looked at him like he was less than a man, because they couldn't understand. If I got to go hunt the food, gather the food, get the food, don't it make sense that I'm going to need more food than you, because I'm going to need the energy to go do it? But you think I should sacrifice that so you can have more, and I bust my behind and kill myself to make sure you got it, and I ain't got nothing. And that's how niggas been socialized. And they tell you that's what make you a man.
I watched Jamie Foxx show the other day. Been chasing after fantasy the whole time.
Come on, I'm not doing all that. I've been told you that. Every television show you see where there's a man character with a female interest, that woman don't be wanting him, and the whole show is centered over him winning her over, chasing after her, convincing her to like him. That socializes young men to do that. That socializes young women to expect that. So then when men don't do that, you know what ends up happening? Oh, he ain't no real man. Because he's not doing the ideal that because you've been drinking from that cup. That cup tell you a man should do this. Though God said he should do this. That's why they come up with he that find a wife. He didn't say go look. The people didn't go out looking for a wife. They didn't date. They didn't court. They didn't do none of that. You got people telling you who in the Bible talking about you need to court me. Nobody courted back then. Man, your daddy and his daddy say, we good? You want to go with him? Yeah, I'll go with him. Y'all married. Ain't nobody courting you. Ain't nobody taking you nowhere. Where was they going to take you? To the vineyard? You know what I'm saying? What y'all finna go tend to eat? Not like seriously, you got to think about that. What was it? It wasn't no steakhouse to go to. It wasn't no movies to go to. What was y'all gonna go do? We're gonna sit here and look at the stars and talk to each other.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I showed her Braveheart.
What they did on Braveheart?
No, they lived back in town like a scholarship.
Nothing.
Like I like her. I want to marry her. He took off. They had sex in the woods somewhere.
Then they were married. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, and she just said how simple it was and how beautiful it was.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing to it. It wasn't all this stuff. I've been telling y'all this for years because it's not that I'm against you doing it. You need to understand what you're doing or where do your ideas for things come from. Do you understand why you hold that point of view? Where did you get that from? I want you to understand socialization. I want you to understand social engineering. Understand what that is. And do I really think that's what makes the man? Or did I pick that up over years of conditioning? You know what I'm saying? That way then you can make better decisions and better thoughts the way you're not motivated by something that was cooked up in a Hollywood basement. Now, you know about that song? That's one of my favorite songs. That ain't no black man, though. That's a white man. Look how you looking. You listen to white man music? That's Red Hot Chili Peppers. Mika knew what it was. Californication. Nah, he don't know that song.
I done heard that.
You heard the song? That song on fire too. But come out to Revelation 18:1. She said Braveheart. He dying laughing. You could now GP said something cogent for the first time in a little while. He mentioned like how Cuba Gooding Jr. Character was in Boys in the Hood with Nia Long character. They didn't really do a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Because she already liked him, but he didn't have to do a whole lot to be with her. He just had to have the courage to go say something to her. No, what I'm saying is in that film, his character liked this girl. This girl liked him. Remember, they're young though. But he didn't have to jump through hoops to be with her. He just had to have the courage to go say something to her. Go ahead.
Saying after these things, I saw another Malachim come down from Shamayim having great power, and the earth was lightened with his esteem.
Go ahead.
And he cried mightily with strong voice, saying,
I ain't even read the jungle romance. Go ahead.
It's fallen, and has become the habitation of devils.
Habitation of
And the
devils.
hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Hateful bird.
All nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of fornication. The kings of earth have committed fornication with her.
All the kings have done what?
Committed fornication with her, and the merchants are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Hold on, Emma. Let me find what it is. I have to type in the etymology. The word romance originates from the Latin word romanicus, or in the Roman style, and the adverb romanence in the vernacular, which referred to languages derived from the vulgar Latin rather than classic Latin. The term evolved from describing medieval literature in these vernacular languages to referring to chivalric, adventurous, and ultimately affectionate love stories. I think we talked about that a while back. Therefore, Romance shares the same root as Roman and Romance language, French, Italian, and Spanish, transitioning from a linguistic descriptor to a genre of literature, and finally a type of intimation. Because we did talk about this before. Because romance in and of itself is rooted in chivalry, which is not, AKA melanated people's type of deal. And it was written in novels. This is something that happened in medieval times. This is what I was telling the sister earlier. She wasn't kicking against. I was like, the concept of romance, how we know it, hasn't been around that long. That's strictly a Western thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, the greater Roman Empire, United States, that's strictly a Western thing. That's not a worldwide thing. That's not something that the whole world was participating in. That's why when America go into other countries, that's why they don't be wanting them crackers there. Because what America likes to do is bring their culture in to replace the culture of the land that's there. And those people don't be wanting to change their culture. Case in point, okay, WWE went and did a show in Saudi Arabia. Now, you know, in Saudi Arabia, the women can't walk around showing no flesh. So the women wrestlers, they didn't even let the women wrestlers wrestle over there for the first couple of years they went over there. But no, they got to cover up. And all these white people mad. And somebody had to tell one of these dudes, how y'all going to go to somebody else's country and tell them what they should be doing? Well, it's oppressive to women. Well, you ain't got to go. It can't be too oppressive to the women because they went and got that check. Because if it was that oppressive to you and that important to you, you wouldn't go. Because there were male wrestlers who wouldn't go. Like, I'm not working over there for whatever their personal reasons were. You know what I'm saying? But that's how Americans, a.k.a. Anglo-Saxons, a.k.a. funky dog crackers in America, that's how they think. They think the whole world should become like them. This is why I tell you, when you read in the book, Israel was never like that. Israel didn't go out to other countries and say, be like us, convert to us. We just live it. You see how we live in and you want to convert to that on your own. There was no forceful conversion. Caucasian people believe that people ought to forcibly convert to the culture and way of life that they live, because it's kind of like I just heard Papoose talking about niggas in the South hate on New York. That's how I know that nigga's stupid. Nah, for real. Y'all not old enough to know. You know what I'm saying? But in the 90s, though, man, New York people look down. They still do it now. They look down on people who not from there. You notice when people from New York move to other places, they want everywhere to be like New York. Take your black behind back to New York. Y'all don't got bagels. Y'all ain't got this in New York. Why'd you leave there then? We don't want to make our city like New York. Go back to New York. That's how white people are. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned that because he said the South was hating on New York because we created rap. No, we weren't. You niggas play our music, you look down on it, you ridiculed it, you belittled it. You know what I'm saying? And you get to that point, you want somebody to worship you and fall down at your footstool. And we didn't do it. And now you're mad. That's what some people say. Miami is a little New York, because that's what they do. They go everywhere they go, they try to make it be like where they came from. If you want where you came from, you should have stayed where you was at. I done seen people from New York come here. Why y'all ain't got no trains? Well, you build it, ho. Nigga, we at sea level, you done it. Where you gonna put a train at? Why y'all ain't got no subway? You need to go back where you came from. Dude cussed me out because I said, man, we don't want to live downtown. Well, that's how people live every other city. It works there. Well, go back there then. I say Jacksonville big enough to where I don't want to live downtown. I can live on the north side. I say niggas here upset because niggas' house is too close together. And you want a nigga to be stacked on top of each other like sardines. So you could walk around downtown and be like, yeah, let's go to the store. I don't want to live here, nigga. Whole bunch of people looking each other in the face. Rude as hell. Niggas walking fast as hell. You know what I'm saying? Disrespectful and rude. And you want me to live like this. Because you can get a goddamn bacon. Take that bacon and shove it up your behind. You know what I'm saying? Yes, romance is definitely distinctly peace, brother Omar, a Roman concept. But come on, man. That'll be crazy, man. You know, ain't like, hey, That somebody literally said that to me who's from Jersey. They were like, y'all don't eat bagels? We like, hell no. Nigga, we from the South, nigga. We eat biscuits, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Biscuits, nigga. Goddamn bagel. You know what I'm talking about? We eat biscuits, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that people here don't eat bagels. Because they do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all pizza trash. Well, take your bagel behind back to Manhattan and get you some. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, we don't eat that joint down here, nigga. You know what I'm talking about?
It really wasn't as good.
No,
We was like, we went to most of the places. We went to most of the places, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not good.
Nah, you get good food anyway.
I don't doubt it. Exactly, from scratch. Huh? Sister Regina said, city predominantly made up of Muslims tried to incorporate the Sharia law, and the state's not letting them. That probably up there in Michigan, because that would try to say that's what the Muslims be up there doing. Yeah, man, we eat that junk. Y'all want to eat subs all the time. We eat subs, nigga. We eat sandwiches, nigga. We don't go to no deli. That mean nigga say, y'all ain't got a bodega? Nigga, no. Yeah, they talking about where the chop. What up, talking about? Nigga talking about where the chopped cheese at? I ain't saying it's not good, but my point was to them is, why you leaving a city that sells something and expecting it to be sold where you coming to? That's like me going to Italy saying y'all ain't got no collard greens and yams. You in Italy, my nigga. They don't eat that. For real. That's all I'm saying, man. You can't go to a place and expect them to be like where you left from. That's crazy, bro. He said people come to your country and expect it to be like the country they came. That's crazy to me, bro. Man, you know how many, because you know New York has been coming down here for a long time. Ain't no disrespect to them, but they come down here and expect New York and Jacksonville. Why did you expect that?
Put the accent on. Well, nigga from Syracuse. You know, when you from the world,
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
whatever they call
Syracuse. That's upstate. That's cold.
it. Okay, I know upstate is Buffalo.
Yeah, that's upstate too. I only know because Syracuse, because Donovan McNabb went down. That's about it. Ain't nowhere I want to visit. I don't want to go nowhere where it's extremely cold. Come on, Simone. Reverb folk. Listen what he say.
And I heard another voice from Shamayim saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues.
Barry said them niggas mad because they got to buy a car to get around. Hey, because I definitely know somebody who in their 40s up there, man, that nigga just learning how to drive. But I mean, I could understand that you live in a city where it's not necessary for you to drive. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Worst part about it, the UK appeases them and changes things for them. Yeah, we ain't changing nothing down here. Y'all gonna have to adapt. And you know what's funny? Because that's what the dude was mentioning. Why I mentioned that, he said New Yorkers have a hard time adapting. You know what I'm saying? You think that's what's the word I'm looking for, Doris? You think that's something that's factual, that New Yorkers have a hard time adapting? In general, I know a lot of them who have adapted.
Over time, they'll be able to adapt, but because I think when I first came down here, it was like completely different. But I mean, I just kind of like used to it.
You know, you can be in that 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks and everything you right there. So they get used to that little routine.
Yeah, you ain't went nowhere.
Yeah.
Because that's what Papoose was saying. He was talking about the Cameron got niggas thing when he said that, you know, like what he said about that situation they was in Miami. But how Papoose was talking was representative of what Cameron was talking about. You going to other cities and you think I'm from New York, woo, 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 and you think somebody care about that. And when we don't care about that, you think it's hating. Nah, it's disrespect. That's what it is. It's disrespect. He said, Carmelo. Oh, yeah, I know Melo went to Syracuse, but that's why I know where Syracuse at. You got to remember, shoot. Donovan McNabb way before Carmelo. You know who that is? You don't need to know. Nah, he's a football player. That nigga look like a basketball now. Two of them stuffed together. Look like he ate all the Campbell soup. Come on.
He say for her sins that have reached on the Shamaim.
Pause. You see her sins reach to where? You see that? Lil Johnny, you peep that?
Oh yeah.
He ain't peep that. Read it again. He ain't peep that.
Say for her sins that have reached on the Shamaim.
And Elohim of what?
Remembered her iniquities.
Reward her what?
Even as she rewarded
and
you,
double her what?
unto her double according to her works.
And the cup which she had filled.
Filled to her double.
Pause. Now, since he understood that, now we can get back to Zechariah 6:1 because he said he wasn't picking that up. 4 chariots of divine judgment. This is Zechariah 6:1.
And I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains. The mountains were mountains of brass.
First chariot
were red horses, and the second chariot black horses.
And the third chariot
white horses.
And the fourth chariot
bristled and bay horses.
Then I answered
and said unto the Malachim that talked with me,
what you said.
What are these, my Lord? The Malachim answered and said unto me, these are the 4 ruachs of Shamaim, which go forth from standing before the Lord of all the earth.
The black horses,
which are therein, go forth into the north country, and the white go forth after them.
Mm-hmm.
And the grizzled go toward the south country.
Mm-hmm.
And the bay went forth and sought to go that they might walk to and fro through the earth. And he said, get you hence, walk to and fro through the earth.
Then cried he
upon me and spake unto me, saying, behold, these that go toward the north country have quieted my ruach in the north country.
Now you know what the north country is referring to? What you think the north country referring to, Leah? What you think that's talking about? She's like, why you ask me this goddamn question? What you think the north country talking about, Lil Johnny? You come to Revelation 6:1, by the way. The north country is referring to Babylon. Babylon is north of the land of Israel. You're supposed to pick that up because he's talking about Shinar in the previous chapter. But if you look on the map, if there was a map in here, you can see it like Babylon is north of Israel. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the south. Yeah, that's why he told Ezekiel to prophesy to the south, because it's north of there. You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah James Bird. Go ahead, man. This is Revelation 6:1.
And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, come and see.
And I saw.
And behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow.
Now, we read a white horse in there, right, coming through. Remember, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to read the point that he said in Zechariah 6. Now, he don't go into great detail about these horses in Zechariah, but remember, say you got a chariot with red horses, black horses, white horses, grizzled and bay horses. And these horses go through the north country and quiet his spirit in the north country. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go back and give him the definition of quiet. Quiet it, I should say. He's getting the definition of quiet from Zechariah.
That is walk, that is to rest, or cause to rest.
He don't cause my spirit to rest. Now remember, what did we just read in chapter 5? That he lifted up that ephah. Hey, this your wickedness. You've been weighed in the balance. You know what I'm talking about? Now these chariots are coming through. This is representative of these seals. Of course, in Revelation, they go through in more detail of what these horses gonna do. Now we kind of talked about these already, but so we're gonna be swift with it. Read verse 2 though. Yeah, Revelation 6:2. My bad.
Saying, I saw him, behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. And when he had opened the second seal.
So when you see that white horse in Zechariah, he talking about that's Mashiach on that horse. He said he going through conquering and conquering. And of course, you know, we could take that back to a conversation we didn't have over the course of time, that he came as Solomon, but he returning as David. Let's look at him conquering and conquering from a different vantage point with passages that y'all know. Isaiah 63:1.
Who is this that come from Edom with dyed garments from
With dyed what?
Dyed garments from Bozrah.
Now let me ask y'all this question to test your memory. Why is he through Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? Why he sliding through Edom first? That's where that beast at. That's where that beast at. You know why? Because remember Ezekiel 35 tell you that Edom would blaspheme. And he said, I've heard you. Read it for us, sis. Ezekiel 35 and 5. That's right, Quran.
So because you have had a perpetual hatred and have shed the blood of the children of Yasharal by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end.
Remember, it said that the devil coming down to you with great wrath because he got but a short time. So he know that's what he mean when he say your iniquity had an end. The time period of you getting delivered is coming through. This man running crazy. Because what did he say he would make war with? The remnant of a seed. What did we talk about last week? He wanted to make war with the woman or with the man-child. But the man-child got caught away, so he went and made war with the woman. This is a perpetual hatred. Where did that hatred start from? This way you got to make sure you remember your law. Where did that hatred start from? Jacob and Esau. And why did Esau hate his brother? Because he got the blessing. Remember, and what did Esau say he was going to do to his brother? When my daddy died, I'm going to kill him. That's where the perpetual hatred starts at. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of people want to take the story, they want to make it fantastical, and they can't even imagine, bro, this is literally going to be a struggle between two brothers, just like they were struggling in the womb. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead. This is Ezekiel 35 and
6.
Go ahead.
Therefore, as I live, saith Yahuwah Elohim, I'll prepare you unto blood, and blood shall pursue you. Since you have not hated blood, even blood shall pursue you. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that pass out and him that return.
Go ahead.
And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and your hills, and in your valleys, and in all your rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword.
Go ahead.
I'll make you perpetual desolations, and your cities shall not return, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah.
Go ahead.
Because you have said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it.
Paul, what do we read in Daniel 11 that this man would seek to do? He's got indignation against the Kadash covenant, so he seeks to want to take these two people into possession, which is why he say he'll make war with the saints and overcome them. But then also it tells you that he built his palace in the Kadash mountain, which is what you read in Revelation 11. I say, man, if you just sit back, man, the story ain't going to switch, because you should remember. Now, let me ask you this question, right? The beast get a period of time to reign. Where in your law do you see why he gets that time period to reign? What would you point to? No. That's what you be doing to them kids. Oh, yeah, they tell them toughen up, man. Put some dirt on it.
I know he told Esau it's a time you break the yoke from off his neck.
Yes, in the law, remember he said, do I get a blessing too? Read it for them. They might not recall. What's Genesis 27? That's right, Omar. That's right, Quran. When you break the yoke off your brother's back, break the yoke from off your neck. So, because Israel, but see that would be contingent on Israel sinning, obviously, but you don't know that at the time that that's spoken. What is it, 27 and what? 35? 40. Read that for me. Read me 37. Give me 3 above.
And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him your lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto you, my son? Esau said unto his father, have you but one blessing, my father?
I ain't got no blessing for you.
Even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, of the dew shall mean from above. And by your sword shall you live, and shall serve your brother. See that? See how you by your sword, you're gonna mean you're gonna be a killer. So that, remember what you read in Revelation 14, what it say? He that killed with the sword shall be killed with the sword. You know what I'm saying? See, some people take that and say that's Muslims. I ain't going through all that. I'm just dealing with the aspect of what he told you Esau is going to do. And then you see him doing what to his brother? Slaying them. So since he's slaying them with the sword, and the book tell you that Yahushua coming with the sword of his mouth and with judgment, he gonna come and judge and make war. Since you want to kill with the sword, Yahushua gonna kill you with the sword. That's why he's covered in garments. Because this is a sister I know, she was like, what type of God would want to come through and conquer? A real nigga. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't be wanting to look at that. Like, why would he have to do all that? Because these niggas want to fight. Let me tell you something, man, with black people in America that I've noticed, women more in particular.
Our men, though, but women more in particular, they really don't understand the concept of power dynamics for real. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told you people make the erroneous statement to say wars have been fought over women. Ain't been a war in human history that was genuinely fought over a woman. It ain't never happened. These people fighting over power. It's in a woman's mind, she wants to believe that she has so much power that a man would wage war on her behalf. Nobody ever asked themselves this question, what the hell nigga fighting a war over you for? Did somebody disrespect you? Did somebody sexually assault you? Oh, another man wanted you with another country to get you? That's never happened. You know what people go to war for? To conquer and to extract resources and to exert power and dominance on other people. That's what people go to war for. Nobody going to war for no chance at no vagina. Because if I got the ability to go to war, back then they just would have took it from you. I don't think y'all really realize how barbaric people were at particular times in human history. They just gonna take it. If I got power to kill people, you think I'm not going to do that? See, it sounds harsh because people don't make it plain because we like to romanticize stuff and only point out stuff with the people that we don't like. But the reality is people go to war for power. You think the British Empire was going out doing that for a woman when they was conquering all of Britain, all of Rome, all of Africa? Do you realize them people didn't name that continent Africa? A British man did. The people came through, the Brits came through and controlled and when I say control the majority of Africa, I'm talking about to all the way up to about 1930. You know who had control over the land? The British did. That's who gave it to the Jewish people. The British used to have the world's reserve currency before the dollar. Britain used to be the world power. You know why Britain lost their world power point of view? You know why they lost it, legit? No, they lost it because their currency crashed. Once the British pound was no longer the world's reserve currency, they lost their world power status. And guess who replaced them? The United States of America. And that's when the United States of America became the world power, because the United States wasn't a world power until till the dollar became the reserve currency, because that's where the power at. No, that is the reserve. Yeah, you might as well say that. The dollar been a reserve currency since for 88 years, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that.
Colonial script. That was the first document.
The dollar became the world's reserve, not even that long, in 1944. So we had World War II in 1944. Ain't even been that long. Well, shoot, that has been. What that is? That's 56. Well, that's 82 years. So look under that. I realize it's 2026. So yeah, it's been 82 years. Representatives of 44 nations at Bretton Woods Conference agreed to fix the exchange rates to the U.S. dollar, cementing its role as global trade and finance. As the world's largest economy with the majority of the world's gold reserves, the U.S. was uniquely positioned to anchor the system, which later moved to a fully fiat system in 1971. While 1944 is the official date, some economists argue the dollar began overtaking the pound as early as the 1920s. And that's why the United States is in the position they're in right now. That's why they got nervous with the BRIC countries and all that there. You know what I'm saying? You know, Venezuela and Russia and China trying to make, because if the dollar is ever replaced as a reserve currency, the United States is done. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody has to trade in your currency, you can dictate to everybody else what they do and how they do it. That's how the British had so much power. You notice the British don't got power like that no more. You don't even realize. You know who used to own Jamaica? The British. You know what I'm talking about? The British had colonies all across this world. And as soon as that pound went away, they had to start selling them off. Yeah. I think the British had Jamaica first. The French had Haiti, and then the other islands in the Caribbean, it varied. But usually Spain, Brits, or the French, you know what I'm saying, had control of it. And then, of course, you know, when you deal with the Americas itself, you know, Florida was owned by Spain. You know, Louisiana Purchase was a mass amount of land that was controlled by the French. And, you know, them 13 colonies were controlled by the Brits. And the West Coast, ain't nobody really, them were Mexicans or Aztecs, if you would. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said on that. He said, let's make Britain great again. I say, bring them all down, goddamn. No, I'm just messing with front. But all jokes aside, though, when you have the reserve currency, meaning that everything, y'all know what a reserve currency is. You know what that is. No, reserve currency meaning that everything that's traded on stock exchanges, all commodities, resources are traded in that currency. So all oil throughout the whole world is traded in dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go buy barrels of oil with Chinese yen. Can't buy them with euros. They have to be traded in dollars. You know what I'm saying? So when everybody in the world has to make their movements based off your currency and the exchange rate for your currency, then you have power over them. Yeah, you got power over them. You say, so it was a myth that the Trojan War was not caused by the women Helen? More than likely. I believe so. You know, Helen of Troy, they hid in the little Trojan horse and all that junk. You know what I'm saying? They probably exaggerated. Yeah, they probably exaggerated. One thing about the Romans and the Greeks that you got to realize is one thing that they like to do. It's exaggerate. Oh, if it was in the Iliad, that didn't happen. The Iliad is a complete piece of actual fiction. I've read the Iliad before. That is all fiction. I ain't even know the Trojan War was in the Iliad. Yeah, that's in the Iliad. That didn't happen. That Marvin got it right there. It was a myth. It was in the Iliad. That ain't even happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of that romance, John, man. How you fantasizing about somebody doing something they didn't even do. I forgot about the Iliad because I had to read that when I was in high school. Yeah, you know, I don't be realizing this shit. It's been a long time since I was in high school. You can say all you want to. You creeping on 10.
Yeah, same
No, I've been in high school for 2026, 28 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some of y'all at a dime. You got a dime, man. Yeah, so you better sit your black behind down somewhere. You talking about, yeah, that is. Yeah, you been out for 10. Yeah, you ready for your 10-year reunion, nigga. You sit back and look at you. You don't look like you did when you was in school. You know some niggas who be so pathetic when you graduate from high school, man, that they be hoping that the girls that they like who didn't like them come back bloated and bad body. That's the only reason why they go into their reunion. So they would look at you. I'm successful now. You built like the Michelin Man. That's sad. That's sad. You know what I'm saying? That's what you thought about for the last 10 years of your life. You should have just killed yourself, nigga. Hey, some of them be like that for real though. Hey, all jokes aside though, I ain't trying to be funny. It's a lot of dudes, boy. Like if it was chicks they like, and she was getting cracked by another dude, and he couldn't get her, them niggas be walking around mad for years by that. I'm talking about hating that woman for a long time and wanting to hurt the dude. I seen dudes want to fight a nigga for talking to a chick that the chick he or the woman didn't know the nigga liked. He ain't never said nothing to the girl. He mad. Oh, nigga taking my chick. Man, you ain't never said nothing to that woman, cuz. Yeah, man, I just seen a movie about that. Dude, so you in here smashing such and such every day? So you one of them niggas is what he told. That nigga turned his back on cuz, shot him in the back. I said, Lord have mercy. You know what I'm saying? It can't be that serious. Say you turn 30 this year, but shoot, pray the Lord. Shoot. Yeah, it was a myth. That didn't happen. Yeah, I think that's that. Yeah, Crystal, that didn't happen. It's a lot of stuff you'll find out, man, ain't happening. Them people be lying. Man, let me tell y'all something. I learned this in 1993 or 4. You have to quadruple check and maybe quintuple check everything white people say.
That makes sense though, because
I ain't being funny.
The soldier was.
Yeah, that was made up. Yeah, that was made up. Man, a lot of things that come from the Greeks, especially the Greeks, maybe not as much with the Romans, but especially with the Greeks. You have to double check that because they push Greek mythology as fact. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff don't really be happening. You know what I'm saying? Even what you got with Sparta, you have to double check because it didn't go down like how they made. They romanticized that. They kind of, threw a little spice on that. I mean, they got slaughtered and killed. It really happened, but it didn't happen how they framed it. But the people be lying. You know what I'm saying? A lot. You know what I'm saying? Because their history is not that deep. Yeah. I mean, because they're great creative writers. She said, "But you a man." Yeah, you do have to double check. Now, I ain't gonna say that like with the Celts and maybe the British, you may not necessarily have to do that. But like I said, with the Greeks, you got to do that. They be lying. Go ahead, man. You say it's danger? Shoot. I seen a video of a nigga playing that in the background. Nigga say, "Hey, if you see me in a fight with the bear, help the bear." It was a nigga out of zoo. That nigga was beating that bear up, boy. That nigga had them fell. I'm just thinking that because he got brother danger. It just made me think about that, man. Cuz had to mess around and I think he fell in the spot where the bear was, and he got in the water, and the bear slayed in the water, tried to attack him. Boy, that white man the brace off that bear. You hear me? Got up out that water, got on there, and got up out of there. He said even the odds, he got him in that water. Who car in their driveway? What kind of car it is? I don't know. We got a blue Chevy here. Leah got a blue Chevy? Yeah, don't somebody live next door now. That Leah car? That's your car? Oh, that's Johnny Mama's car. He said he blocking the driveway.
He said move.
He said move. Hey man, it don't matter what that man said. That man said move his car. Move your car. Huh? He can't call to get it towed. Nigga, this ain't no doggone nigga, you gotta have a towaway sign for that. He can't do nothing but call the police.
I think it's where we parked before. We in the movie.
Come on. Where we at?
27, Genesis 27.
Hey, listen, because like this here, right? Because one, we probably beat in my house, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be the same at our house. Because the lady next door for that old black woman son there. Nah, man, she was complaining about the van. Somebody was parked in front of her house, and it was in front of our house. And the white dude, told me who house it is. He was like, "Yeah, she a piece of work," and I can tell. Is there a way for us to identify Esau today as one man or a system? I believe it's a people group. And me personally, Emma, I think Esau is a melanated person. I don't necessarily think he Arab. I think he black. Just one of the biggest mistakes, like I done told y'all before, is that people think because you black, we the same people. So I say my dog then was having that FBA conversation yesterday. I think now Esau probably interspersed amongst African people personally. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because dude was telling us y'all want to separate from Africa. We were like, but them people don't really fool with us though. Because he was saying, why y'all want to be divorced from Africa? Because I'm like, we ain't never been there. We don't have no cultural ties, no nothing to this place that you want me to be tied to. And I'm not saying that because we deal with the Bible. I'm not saying that because we believe that we Israelites. I'm saying that from the aspect of, nigga, I ain't never been there, bro. I don't have no ties to that place. So therefore, I'm not looking, you can't even tell me what tribe I come from. You just want me to identify with Africa as a concept. When we've been over here in America and we've been consistently shown by the majority of Africans that they don't fool with us. You know what I'm saying? They just apologized for selling you.
About that nigga from New York talking about Nas in the movie Dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Africa. That nigga, what up?
Where? Africa. Then, like I said, my dog actually went over there and made a treaty with a country over there. They were like, they'll give you some land. He telling me about it. He was like, yeah, the van revert back to them in 99 years. I said, oh, that's a setup to get oppressed over there. Because you're going to tell me you're going to give me some land, but really the land come back to you. So my descendants will be stuck over here and your descendants will own the land they living on and you can oppress them. Shoot, I might as well stay over here with the oppressor I know. Nigga, I don't know you. Y'all like to pee in cow, you know what I'm saying? Bathing cows, cow urine, and you know what I'm talking about? All you ain't never seen that before? Man, I done seen them niggas up on the camels, nigga. That camel peeing on them. That nigga like this here. Yeah. Yeah, I done seen that before. I ain't say it was. Yeah, it's 1% too much. Listen, because all Africa isn't united. Listen, I've told y'all this before, man. This is just real deal talk. There are no people groups on the earth that are united. That's a myth that niggas want to believe in, a fallacy you've created in your brain. White people are not united. Guess what? When you come over here, when you talk to, I mentioned that to you last night, when you talk to an African, they're going to tell you, oh, you from America? I'm Nigerian American. And guess what? You talk to white folks, guess what they're going to tell you? I'm German. I'm Italian. I'm British. They're going to identify with who they are. You know what I'm saying? They don't say I'm white. They're going to say I'm Swede. I'm Norwegian. I'm Australian. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that there's a people group with a specific culture, way of living, and doing things. British people don't do what Australians do, and Australians don't do what Russians do, and Russians don't do what the French do, and the French don't do what the Italians do, and they all have their own personal interests. They are not united. And when you go to Africa, you're going to find the same thing out. Them people ain't united. The Ethiopians care about what's important to Ethiopians, not what's important to Somalians, not what's important to Nigerians, not what's important to niggas in Bali. Then when you go to Northern Africa, them ain't even black people up there. Them Arabs, white Arabs at that. Then you go to South Africa, ain't number white people there. Because technically Elon Musk is African. You know what I'm saying? So you have to pay attention to that, man. That's a fallacy. But guess what? Out of all these people groups I named, guess what? Don't none of them fool with you. You know what I'm talking about? And you ain't never sat there and paused about that. While you talking about why we can't come together, you ain't realize the whole world can't come together on nothing, but they can come together on one thing. We don't like them niggas. We don't like them. Nah, they different. Man, when I first time I heard an African say we was niggas without a country, I said, God damn. You heard that before? Oh yeah, we done heard that before. In the 90s. And then if you ever seen the movie where what's that movie Wesley Snipes in when he playing the Sugar Hill, where the African wouldn't deal with him and they had a name that they called us over there. I can't remember what it is. You know what I'm saying? That denoted that, hey, you different than us. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't fool with us like that. He said, real talk, some other nations might stick together a little bit better, but that is a big misconception. That's right, Emma. They are very racist towards us, man. I'm telling you, African people don't fool with us like that. They don't fool with us like that. You know what I'm saying? That is not to say that every African be like, I hate you niggas, but in general, they don't fool with us like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm honest with you. Don't know people. This is part of the reason why I sit back and look at it. It's only two people groups on the earth that people don't fool with, us and Jewish people. And people have a reason not to fool with Jewish people. And I'll just leave that right there. You know what I'm saying? They have a reason not to fool with them based off the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? Because you remember Jewish people tell you, nigga, I'm not white, I'm Jewish. They'll tell you that real quick. I am not white, I'm Jewish. See, everybody has an identity but you. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the reason, like, hey, man, he say we the fewest amongst people. Ain't nobody gonna fool with you. You get this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay. If we ain't the people, then shoot. This book ain't true then. Because don't nobody fool with you. And you don't have power anywhere on the earth. Every people that I just named got power somewhere on the earth. You don't know. You don't. You ain't got none. You don't control nothing. You got to go to everybody for something. That's what part when brothers be like, man, we need to have this and have that. Man, if you got to live in the midst of somebody else's system on somebody else's land, use somebody else's currency, that's not power. That means you got to ask for stuff. What did the Lord say in Matthew 17, Civic? He said, who do they take tribute of? The children or strangers? What Peter said. Then what the Lord said back in return. Then the children are free. So if somebody can take tribute from you, then you're a stranger. So you ain't got power. See, some of my people, when we be talking about it, they get mad with me. See, I'm a realist. I'm pragmatic. I'm not going, nigga, I want no legislation, nigga. I want free. I want no goddamn legislation, nigga. I want none of that, nigga. That's not freedom, my nigga. That's not power. You had to ask a nigga for that. And if you could ask him for it, he could take it. He could say, no, I don't want to do that no more. What you gonna do? But you said, I'd rather die, my nigga. I feel like that's being on my knees giving fellatio, and I ain't doing that, man. I don't clean booty holes, and I stand on my feet, man. I live on my toes, man. I'm not doing that. I refuse. I ain't mad at nobody else. I refuse. That's how I view it. I ain't saying you got to view it that way. He said they called us a Maya. I think he said something else. I think he said kata or something like that in that movie, man.
That's what he said, a kata.
A kata. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said in that best. What movie that was? Oh, you got it. Okay. He spelled it wrong the first time. That's what they call us, a kata. You remember what movie that is, Marvin, man, with Wesley Snipes? I think it was Sugar Hill. Yeah, I think it was Sugar Hill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what it was. I thought it was Sugar Hill. Yeah, them people don't fool.
He said, by your sword shall you live and shall serve your brother. Past when you shall have the dominion that you shall break his yoke from off your neck. And he Jacob because of the blessing. When he said when you have the what? The dominion. You'll break the what? His yoke from off your neck. That's how we know the man of sin is going to be an Edomite. Not in the concept of how a lot of people talk about. Go back to Ezekiel 35. And I don't say that to be disparaging of any group of people. The reality is reality. If they don't fool with us, they don't fool with us. I'm not finna, and I'm talking about in general. I ain't saying that every white person, every African person, every Arab person you meet with gonna treat you like trash, but in general, they have a negative view of you. And they definitely, most of them definitely don't want they daughters with your sons with their daughters. I can tell you that. Yeah. Yeah, because that's a doctrine amongst a lot of brews that Jacob was black and Esau was white, but they were twins, but one was white and one was black. Is it genetically possible for that to happen? I've seen evidence that they say it is possible.
I mean, it says Randy Harry.
Yeah, but what they would define ruddy is not what we would say is white, really. Because it said that David's ruddy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just being red or red bone or brownish red. You know what I'm saying? So some people believe people who have dusty brown hair and stuff like that, that's what he looked like. Go ahead. Oh, you go back to Ezekiel 35. What verse is that? 10. But yeah, that's a one West doctrine. You know what I'm saying? That Esau was white, because people don't argue that as much no more. Like when it's from like 2009 to like 2015, what them niggas argue about Esau not being the white man or being the white man every day. Junk was nauseating to say the least. But now it's kind of faded away, because some people believe Esau is the Arabs because of that rule by the sword. But I don't believe that he's Arab. He look just like me and you. If that's his brother, who else? I ain't never seen twins who look distinctively different like that. Yeah, that shoot. I don't even think they had albinos like that then. Yeah, your son ain't gonna be albino because that's just a deficiency of melanin. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of albinoism is almost just a variation of vitiligo. Just your immune system attacking the melanin in your skin cells. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Esau bred with Canaanite. You know what I'm talking about? Like he literally bred with quote unquote Hamite, quote unquote African women. So if he was white, that would have been breaded out. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, you talk about the aisles and all that there, and you see where them people was at. Like for some way or another, them Caucasians got here. I ain't gonna lie to you. For a lot of people, that's the greatest mystery of mankind. Is where did them crackers come from and how did they get there? I ain't even saying that to be funny because everybody else don't look like you. That's what they say. But the Caucasus Mountains is real later on down the line. So, you know, there's that. I've been hearing people come up with all right type of rationale on how them people got here. I have no answer. I can tell you that the book say the Gentile, the island of Gentiles, and I think that would lean to them your fat children, and one way or another, they have less melanin than everybody else. Because they have melanin, they just don't have as much as everybody else.
And a lot of Indian people trip out. They got dark skin, and they got straight hair.
Straight hair. But say that's their lords. You know what I'm saying? And I think the reason why they look like is because I think the Mongoloids come from the children that Lot had with his daughters. Because I think that's a genetic deficiency. Or, you know, a mutation from incest. Why you looking like that? You ain't know Lot had children with his daughter?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about what makes you think that they was genetic because how they look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like as far as what they say.
I'm talking about their hair, their facial, everything, man. Them boys look like they got Down syndrome. Got an extra chromosome.
It is.
I ain't being saying that to be disrespectful or funny. That's a group of people that they look distinctly different from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying things from observation. It may sound harsh to say it because people just won't use plain language. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to accept the fact that, hey, those were two daughters who had offspring with their dad. You know what I'm saying? I believe they come from the children that Lot had with his daughters. They would be Shemites, though. They would still be from the bloodline that Israel come from. Because Lot was Abraham's nephew.
So Asians and Indians?
I believe Indians, that people that we call Native Americans, for real, man, I think the Mongoloids, because they look like Mongoloids. Remember, when you look at genetic people markers, it's three people. You got Caucasoids, Negroids, and Mongoloids. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of what they call Native American, I'm not talking about actual indigenous people who was over here. I'm talking about who they call Native Americans. They look Asian.
He was talking about the scammers.
Yeah, they look Asian. Yeah, yeah, they look Asian.
They got
Talking about the scamming Indians.
Dark like the 70s, I wouldn't say that, but those Indians.
You talking about East Indians?
Yeah.
Yeah, East Indians. That's what you call them. You call them East Indians. Shoot.
They got dark skin, but they got straight.
No. I mean, I think they a mix of because that's where the Arabs come in at. Because Arab in Hebrew means mingled. So then you got mingled people. So I think we read that last night in Jeremiah 51 when we talk about the mingled people. So then when you got all these different type of, you know, Shemites and Hamites and people from your Yafet melting together, I think that's what produced some of them people. You know what I'm saying? Now I couldn't pinpoint with East Indians whether they probably Shemites or Hamites. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just my opinion based on information that I believe that those Mongoloids are from Lot's children with his daughters, because they look like they have. I'm not saying that to be disparaging, but based off their facial structure, and when you look at children who have Down syndrome, they have somewhat what would be considered to be Asian features, as far as their eyes and their facial structure is concerned. You know what I'm saying? I'm being dead serious. I'm not being funny. I know it. No, I'm not trying to. You would know when I'm trying to be funny. I'm dead serious. I've looked into this before. I took time to ponder upon this long before the word. Like, damn, they look the same as far as facial structure is concerned. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't even seen too many black children that have Down syndrome. I can't recall that I've ever seen one.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm trying to recall if I've seen on one in any type of medium period. And I'm not saying that they don't exist. I just don't recall seeing them.
My cousin's son got Down syndrome.
It's just an extra chromosome.
I think I went to elementary school.
Now, why? How do they explain how that extra chromosome comes about? I don't know. I can't recall it off the top of my head. Because obviously, people getting Down syndrome, I don't think they're committing incest. But you might have had somebody who committed incest somewhere in your family line. Who knows? Who that? He might do, but he don't have the Down syndrome face. He just looks funny.
They the same thing. They got an extra finger and stuff, and that extra chromosome.
What's that?
When people be having like extra fingers and toes.
I think that's just a genetic mutation, if I'm not mistaken. But I can look it up. I can't call it off the top of my head. Yeah, it says it's caused by the presence of a full or partial extra copy of chromosome 21, resulting in 47 chromosomes instead of 46. This is a genetic abnormality, often caused by random error in cell division called non-disjunction, and disrupts normal development. It says it increases with the mother's age, particularly after the age of 35. Say, while most cases are not inherited, translocation Down syndrome can be. Well, obviously they had stuff like going on back then because they were talking about, hey man, if you got a crook back, if you got this here, you can't come in here and do that. So people were being born with stuff like that back then. It just probably had no name for it. It says the thing that causes extra appendages is a genetic mutation or inherited traits or disruptions in fetal development between the 4 and 8 week gestation. It says it can be passed down as a result or result from spontaneous gene mutations. Dwarfism is genetic.
She's asking what midget.
It depends what you call a midget. He said the story, my best friend, true story, my best friend turned gay. I went to an age, oh my. What's wrong? Said her best friend turned gay.
And some bitches got shoes. Yeah, but then don't they have like people that are a little bit taller?
Say those homosexuals twisted in the eyes. Now you know what's funny? I didn't read that part when they were talking about romance, but in Chinese culture, they consider romance and falling in love to be a mental illness. I don't disagree with that. No, I don't disagree with that at all. No, falling in love is definitely a mental illness.
What does that mean, though? What is falling in love?
Sure, no problem.
What does it mean to fall in love?
That's an emotional attachment. Yeah.
Falling from grace is like that's falling from grace.
No, we're not talking about loving someone. No, being in love by definition is that because it's an emotional attachment. So that's when you start dealing with attachment. Human beings are not supposed to be attached to each other. They're supposed to be connected to each other. So when you're attached to someone, that leads to mental illness. Yes, it does. I've told y'all this before. This ain't new.
Oh, think about it again.
One of the things here they say with being in love is passionate state of attraction, a mental state of being in love with focused attention or salience towards a specific individual. Salience is a motivational salient. It's a cognitive process and a form of attention that motivates or propels an individual's behavior towards or away a particular object. I gotta find the part I was looking at. But I'm just telling you that thought process of being in love that's pushed in America, that's not like that in the rest of the world. That's why the Chinese, that's why I mentioned, because we look at it and we think, what you mean not to be in love? The rest of the world think you stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't operate like that. They're not motivated by that. And that's okay, because I'm just mentioning it because that's cultural. Because that's one of the things that they were talking about with romance, that your idea of romance is going to be based off of your environment, who you were raised by, what you experienced. That's what's going to form your outlook on that.
Vocabulary.com is foolish or unreasoned fondness.
Foolish, see? That's by definition. Foolish or unreasonable fond. That's a mental illness. Hell no, they don't know what it is. It's a nigga because you feel an intense feeling of lust or infatuation for somebody, and then you mentally and emotionally attached to this person, and that's why people had the term broken-hearted, and you around here eating ice cream, smoking weed, drinking liquor, thinking about I'm gonna kill this hoe or I'm gonna go flat his tires, because now you're emotionally unstable because the emotional attachment has been severed. Some people like to sit in the house and eat ice cream. Yeah. Well, it was a run-on sentence. You didn't catch the comments. Here it is right here, right? It says, because it leads to certain attachment styles. You have the secure attachment style, which is classified by children who show some distress when their caregiver leaves, but are able to compose themselves. So you see that with adults who got secure attachment style. You don't know how to act when this nigga leave or when she leave, but you're able to get yourself under control. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the mental illness. Say children with secure attachment style, but this is the reason why feel protected by their caregivers and they know that they can depend on them to return. A securely attached child can use their parent as a safe base to explore their surroundings and is easily comforted after being separated or feeling stressed. And that's why when you deal in them states, now that's why I talk about that with princess treatment. You a big overgrown child. And you are looking at me like your father and you want me to treat you like a child. Why have you left me? Why you ain't called me? When you coming back? Leave me alone, nigga. I'm out here fighting bears and slaying lions. Leave me alone, goddammit. I'll be back when I'm back. No, all jokes aside. Then you got anxious attachment, which is suggests that that's attachment that may mediate the relationship between emotional abuse and borderline personality disorder. Individuals with that one have a strong desire for closeness and intimacy in their relationships, but they often experience high levels of anxiety and uncertainty about the availability and responsiveness of their attachment figure. You know what I'm saying? So now you want to be attached to this nigga, but you wonder, is he gonna leave me? Do he love me? That. But that's all about being in love, mental illness. You ain't wrong. Then you have avoided attachment, which obviously that's self-explanatory. That's why falling in love is a mental illness. When you sit back and you look at it, all jokes aside, when you sit back and look at it, here it is, falling in love in definition all the way out. This is a development of strong feelings of attachment and love, usually towards another person. The term is metaphorical, emphasizing the process like the physical act of falling is sudden, uncontrollable. That's the one thing you would know about the word. Love is controllable. Because the book tell you in 1 Corinthians 13 what love is, and what he say love never do, Sid? Falling in love fail. So what's people say? I fell out of love with them. Nigga, you ain't love them then. You know what people say when they falling out of love? The attachment is broken. I'm no longer attached to you. That's why when people break that attachment, they can move on and it ain't no issue. It's like this person never existed. But that's why when people go back and forth to somebody, that attachment is still there. You know what I'm saying? Which is why they tell you not to do what? Don't call the person, don't talk to them. Now people say block them and all this, that, then the third, because you're emotionally attached. That's dangerous for your mental health. Yeah, that's dangerous for your mental health. Yeah, that's dangerous for your mental health. Hold on. And then it says it's uncontrollable and leaves the lover in a vulnerable state similar to falling ill or falling into a trap, mental illness. You want me to do something that's going to make me fall into a trap or make me sick. Love ain't supposed to make you sick. Read 1 Corinthians 13 and 1. Love's supposed to make you sick, Sylvia. It said it may also reflect the importance of the lower brain centers in the process, which can lead the rational accounting brain to conclude that falling in love routine is very bizarre and it borders on the occult. God damn it. Do you understand what the occult is? What is that? No, that's witchcraft. This nigga say falling in love is like dealing with witchcraft, and you want me to do this. Nigga, cast and got how many songs I done cast a spell on you, nigga? That's it. Say factors known to contribute to falling in love include proximity, similarity, reciprocity, and physical attraction. While at the same time, the process involves a reactivation of old childhood patterns of attachment. You know what I'm saying? So again, all jokes aside, this part about drinking that cup. Because while now it's saying that they push you this concept of falling in love, and from based off what they're saying, this is literally trying to get you to go back to the mind of a child, to attach to another grown adult like you attached to your mama or attached to your daddy. That's a mental illness. That's a mental illness. You people know what they be doing. You say, send you that link. I'm going to send it to you. Hold on. That boy, that wild. That boy, that wild. Nothing else to say. That boy, that wild. Hold on before Sylvie read 1 Corinthians 13, right? Say factors known. I just read that. Did I read this here? Yeah. Childhood patterns of attachment. Deep set psychological parallels between two people may also underpin their pairing bonding, which can thus border on mere narcissistic identification. Jungians views the process of falling in love as the projecting of anima or animus onto the other person, with all the potential for misunderstanding that this can involve. If you're not familiar with animus, that's something from Carl Jung. You know who that is? He's a psychologist. He said that's the unconscious masculine side of a woman, and the anima is the unconscious feminine side of a man. And they're described in analytical psychology and archetypical psychology under the umbrella of transpersonal psychology, with the framework of basically being you yin and yang. That's what that the term other half and all that comes from Greek mythology. But that's what he's trying to come with that. You ever heard people talking about I'm looking for my other half? Yeah, that's when there's a $3 bill. That's talking about a particular god was attached to a woman, and another god cut that woman and separated him from him, and he spent all his life looking for her. All Greek mythology. These people be throwing all type of mythology at you. You know what I'm saying? This is part of drinking the cup. I know it may feel like I want to read some verses, but goddamn it, we need to set the context of what these hoes be doing. That's why she's called the mother of all harlots, because she's birthing all manner of unfaithfulness to God. You know what I'm saying? Because you shouldn't be attached to nobody but God. But really, you should only be attached to your parents. And then there comes a time where that attachment is removed. But based off what they're saying from a psychological standpoint, and that's wild that they're taking it even to narcissistic identification, that falling in love ends up making you self-centered. Because that's all basically that narcissism is. It's a self-centered individual. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at people who fall in love, that they are very self-centered. Because it has to be about them. You thinking you making it about the other person, but the reality is to feed your emotional and psychological needs through that person and how you're attaching to this person. It ain't really about them. You're convincing yourself it's about them because that's what's going to make you feel better about yourself. The reality is about you. But love said, and this book tell you, it don't seek her own. You know what I'm saying? So it's the antithesis of what your God say love is. But you know what I'm saying? But of course, this is not something you kick yourself in the butt for. This is a part of the socialization and the society that you live in. As you get older, you come across new information, you have certain experiences, you view things from a different point of view than you may have did 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That's the purpose of learning. You know what I'm saying? You come across new information and you can see how faulty certain thought processes or information that you had previously were. That's just part of living. You know what I'm saying? We think we just supposed to have everything 100%. Nah, man, everything's based on environment. All of us lived in the same country. So guess what? We were all bombarded with the same mental conditioning as it pertains to that particular topic. I was never with falling in love because it just didn't make sense to me. Because me and my cousin who live in Ohio had that conversation. She's like, I don't think I've ever been in love before. I'm like, cuz I ain't never been in love neither. I ain't been attached to nobody like that. I didn't see the reason to. And that's probably only because my grandma said that love is an action word, is what you do. So we were never bombarded with this is an emotional thing. If you're bombarded that this is an emotional thing, then guess how that's going to shape your worldview? You're going to look at it as an emotional, and this is the thing you're going to be doing. You're going to be looking for an emotional supply from this person. You know what I'm saying? This is why I say it's narcissistic identification. But we don't realize it because we've been convinced that it's selfless, but it's not. You don't figure that out till you live long enough to be like, dang, I done been in, because how can people say they've been in love with all these different people? How's that even possible? And the fact that he states that this thing is a parallel, a process that's reactivating old childhood patterns, I think I can see why so many people in this country have so many negative interactions with the opposite gender. Because if they had negative attachment or negative interactions with their parents, it's just carrying it over once that emotional button gets pressed. Now you're repeating a childhood cycle as an adult, but you don't realize that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's wild. You know what I'm saying? When you really sit back, pause, and look at it, you know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. See, it's 2 chemical reactions associated with falling in love are increases in oxytocin. I know you know what that is. What that is? No, that's the bonding hormone. Yeah, that's what it is. That's the same reason why your baby, because I just said, like, because you know, y'all be like, this baby won't leave me alone. Well, you've been sucking on your titty. You know what I'm saying? You've been sharing oxytocin with the baby. The baby gonna be stuck to you. It's supposed to be like that. Your God, you see, this is how you know that where that attachment come from. Because the child's supposed to be attached to the mama. That's why sometimes the mama, he'll never go for a daddy like that because I didn't share the womb with him. He been in your womb. He been one with your body. He come out your body and he one with your body some more. And you expect him to say, F my mama, let me go hang out with my daddy. That means you got to be a terrible woman. She said, just for a couple minutes. Say, give me 3 minutes. See, it be some stuff the children do to me like this here, like they get. I just want to use the bathroom. They come in the bathroom. I don't give a damn. The dude gonna get you out of here after a while. I promise you, he ain't gonna sit here. He gonna get up out. They gonna get up out of here. Them children walking me on the bathroom sometimes. They just look. Guarantee you, these PCs gonna get you up out of here. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, that don't bother me none. They listen. I could be in there and they could come in that bathroom every day, 3, 4 days. That ain't gonna bother me, man.
Yeah, right.
My children done did it. I don't give a damn. I ain't talking about no breastfeeding. I'm talking about them busting in there. Ain't nobody talking about breastfeeding nobody. And if I had to breastfeed this nigga and take a dump, that nigga can wait till I'm finished. No, you know why? Because that baby crying drive y'all up the wall. Don't bother me. No, because y'all let that junk bother you. He'll be all right.
Amen.
Yeah, don't bother me, man. Look here, man. Listen, man. I learned something real early in life. You know what that is? Block them niggas out. Now, I ain't talking about block out no small baby. Me talking about little small baby crying. You know you hungry and you like tough up, nigga. No, get the baby something to eat. I'm talking about when they toddler age, bro. Toddler age, man. I'm not studying that. Man, Joanne and Jamal show out all the time. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. I told y'all this plenty times before. I'm gonna tell you again. You should not be getting outwitted by a nigga who you teaching to stop doodling on himself. You supposed to have the intellectual and emotional capacity to outwit this nigga. See, he do that all the time. And then you know what they do? They like to stomp at me and yell. Well, nigga, let's fight then. You know what they do? Guess what? He like to flip chairs over and then walk up, flip it. Please flip it. And you know what he do? He hold it and look at it because he know what's going. I ain't even had to hit. Don't play with me, boy. I dare you to flip it. Please do. Test me. See, y'all get upset. He flipping chairs. No, man. See, y'all from a different generation. Because, boy, my mama didn't give a damn about none of that. Boom! They like this here. Elbow nigga, granny jumping on dresses like this here, macho man. Try me again. They ain't never get frustrated like y'all be getting frustrated. Y'all ain't got enough patience. You know what I'm saying? Well, I done been around some black women, boy. I'm talking about some hellion type churn. They wasn't stressed like that. Y'all be like this here, this nigga whine for 2 seconds. You better lose your brain. You better ignore that nigga. Whine over there. You know what I tell them? Whine in your room. You know what I like to do when this is what I used to like to do. I sit him in the face and mock him, cry with you. Ah, that's how you sound. That's how you look. Don't give a damn what the therapist said.
That's what the therapist said.
Yeah, I bet a nigga stop once he realized. I got a cool thought for him. That's how you look, boy. You know what I'm saying? You're out here being emotional about something you ain't got no reason to be emotional about. See, there's a difference. I'm not mocking you for crying. I'm mocking you for trying to use your emotions to manipulate what you want. And I ain't going for it because I know what you're doing. If you hurt, you upset, you can be mad, you can yell. I don't care about none of that. Get that off your chest. I'm not going to stop you. You want to cry, I ain't going to tell you to stop. But when you trying to emotionally manipulate me with your whining, I'm going to call you out on that to your face because you're not going to grow up as an adult and think you can emotionally manipulate people because you cut on some tears, because you ball up your face. Give a damn what that therapist talking about. Yeah, well, y'all gonna breed an old manipulative, old dirty dog face nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You got time for that, man. Look, you dead in your face. Hell no. That nigga picked that up. He picked that up on his own. He ain't get it from me. Hell no. Call him out. Yeah, call him out. Shoot. That's classic stuff. I did Muffin like that her whole childhood. She turned out all right. She wanna cry right in the face. This is how you look. You know how black people used to tell you keep making your face like that, it's gonna stay like that. Keep looking at it. But I ain't giving a damn what they talking about. But listen. It says when you fall in love, it's falling into a stream of naturally occurring what you call it, man? I can't even talk. My brain locked up. Amphetamine, boy. Well, you on dope. Well, they say falling in love like being on uppers. You ever been on amphetamines, man? You don't want to. I seen people on it. They looked bad. It's a derivative compound formed by replacing and substituting one or more hydrogen atoms. It includes stimulants and hallucinogens. That's probably why when you fall in love, your heart rate races. When people say they see somebody and their heart racing, because that's why. These are all chemical responses. And guess what that means that is, Civic? Mental illness. You remember when the nigga said rapping? He say, man, if you don't like Jesus, I'm going to shoot you in your face. Shout out mental illness. That's what you need to talk when somebody say, I fell in love, mental illness. That's what you need to tell them. Shout out mental illness. They may not know what you're talking about. Shout out mental illness. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. It says it runs through the emotional centers of our very brains. With regard to sociobiology, it is stressed that the mate selection cannot be left to the head alone, but must require complex neurochemical support. So guess what they're telling you? You can't pick your mate yourself. Your hormones got to do it. Mental illness. Critics of such neo-Darwinism point out that oversimplistic physical arguments obscure the way that sexual passion often leads not to secure attachment, but to attachments thwarted, as well as the sheer frightening difficulties of falling in love. It also says many studies indicate positive linear linear correlation between romantic popularity and physical attractiveness for women more than men. Some studies indicate that men subconsciously seek slenderness and sexiness, whereas women seek status, permanence, and affluence before they seek physical attractiveness. Duh, nigga. Like, you ain't telling me nothing we already know. A woman will get with a big, fat, nasty slob nigga if he got some status and some money. You think women was messing with Biggie because he was handsome? He had to be rich. You think if Chris Brown working at Family Dollar, that women would be falling all over the place by him? No. Not to say that he might not be able to attract no women, but women wouldn't be going like that for him. You know why they go like that for him? Because he's Chris Brown. See, men figure that out pretty early. You know what I'm saying? She don't like you because you. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard Pocket Mace talk about that before? Like, Mace was like, yeah, you wouldn't give me no head when I was Mason Bethel. Pac say, when I was in the club trying to talk to you, you ain't want to say nothing to me. When I came back in here, Tupac, now you all on me. You know your favorite rapper. Look at Shayla, know. You playing that song too, bro. Back then, you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Y'all on me. Men already know that. He said, in addition, men tend to show their emotions through actions, while women tend to express their feelings with words. I don't even know how you express emotion with actions. It's like this here. That means that men would tend to love like this book say to love, by doing something. But you know what consequently the theory is in America? That women show they love by actions and men show they love with words, when it's really the opposite. I don't see what a lot of women believe they showing love to people is really that narcissistic supply of their own self-aggrandizement to make themselves feel important. Or like what that white dude in this reel I was looking at saying, your wife could pick up 5,000 Legos and she'll tell you, I did everything for you. All you did was go to work. She'll never consider what you do for a living and how difficult that might be for you to be able to perform that. Because in her mind, what she performed was, I did everything, because it's to maximize what she's doing and minimize what you're doing. Which is why that conversation has came up about provision is more than money. No, that's the only thing providing is. You have to provide for me emotionally. How can I provide emotions for you? You have to protect my emotions. It's not my job to protect your emotions because I'm not responsible for your emotions. See, now listen. I'm responsible for what I do that may elicit an emotion, but I'm not responsible for your emotions because your emotions are exclusive to you. Just like you're not responsible for mine. You know what I'm saying? When you turn around and say somebody has to keep you emotionally safe and provide for you emotionally, you know what you just did? You gave them power over you. That's what you just did. And you don't realize that that's what you're communicating when you say it. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't protect you emotionally. What does that even look like? And you know when you ask people what that look like, you know what you never get, sir? You never get an answer. Not a definitive answer, not a plain answer, not an answer that can be easily quantified and qualified that you could easily enact and see. How do I protect you emotionally? Don't hurt my feelings. That's not protecting you emotionally. That's being a decent person, nigga. Me not walking in the house and saying, you fat, nasty slob, why you ain't took a bath? That's not protecting you emotionally. That's not being rude. That's not being offensive. That's not being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas is crazy. I can't provide you feelings. That is dumb. But you know why we repeat it? Social engineering. You all right? You ain't going into labor, is it? No, I know that face. I've seen it before. Took it to the hospital. See if we know about birthing babies. He did it before. Come on, let's read First Corinthians. It says, look at this here. This particular psychologist, Theodore Reick, likened the idea of being in love with love, which I believe a lot of people are. But he says he believes that unhappy people tend to be the most vulnerable to love. elaborating on a claim by Sigmund Freud that happy people never make fantasies, only unsatisfied ones do. Eileen Hatfield concurs, saying the greater our need, the more grandiose our fantasies. An experiment by Hatfield found that college women whose self-esteem was lowered by negative feedback liked a man who asked them out on a date more than those women whose self-esteem was raised by positive feedback. This is something that I have ascertained in my own life, that people who are unhappy are definitely in love with the idea of love and create fantasies and ideas about it in their brain versus people who are satisfied with themselves. They don't have a need to do that. They will accept people for who they are and what they show them to be. Read 1 Corinthians 13. And you know what all this is coming back to, Sibo? Shout out mental illness. Shout out mental illness. It sounds harsh, but it is. But see, it's the same thing when we were talking about, like if we talking to people about Lucifer not being a devil. It shakes your sensibilities because these are not conversations that are had on a regular basis. So when you hear something, it's a shock to your nervous system. So you know the first thing you want to do, little Johnny, when your nervous system shocked? Nah, you want to shut down. You shut down. You shut down because I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to hear that. Because while your reality is being shaken. But when you pause and you listen to it logically, analytically, and unemotionally, you can begin to see, if it's not your own personal life, you can see things that happen to people around you in their life, and you can see like, damn, we should have never been doing this. This has really been detrimental. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't as, especially the part with attachment styles going back to your childhood. You know what I'm saying? That's done something serious, man. But again, man, if you fall in love, guess what that is? Shout out mental illness. Shout it out. You know what I'm saying? Let it be known. He said, it's so easy for you to say don't get outwitted by a toddler. It's definitely hard not to allow your kids to provoke the reactions. I mean, it is easy because I'm not finna get outwitted by a toddler. I mean, that's just a conscious decision. That's it. I mean, this is something I've been saying for years. Things are easy. I think things ain't easy for y'all because you think about a bunch of scenarios that don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Other than the fact of, man, I don't care nothing about what you doing in here, boy. Man, look at, man, I can't never recall my mama getting frustrated and outwitted with nothing I got going on. And I guarantee you, I probably did way more than each year and never thought to do. Do you know what I'm saying? My mama wasn't on that. Look here, boy, you heard what I said. If you don't do it, it's consequences. I ain't playing with you. But I think it's mainly because I think a lot of women just don't have patience. You know what I'm saying? You just don't have patience. You think you have patience because you convince yourself that you have patience. But I'm going to be honest with you, because most of these men can sit back and look at, we be sitting there looking at it like, why is you even tripping about that? Like, you tripping. It ain't even that serious. And you know how I notice it? Because women in general are usually way faster to put their hands on a child than that man is. Because that's y'all go-to, because you done lost patience, you want to hit him. You want to yell at him. We ain't got, and you wonder why we ain't got to do all that, or why he don't act up with his daddy like he act up with you. Because, hey, man, I ain't on that. I've established early that your emotional tantrums don't affect me. One thing I noticed, because I done told Muffin this plenty times, Joanne purposely antagonizes Muffin, and you know why? Because she know it worked. So once you've let me see that I could do X, Y, Z and get a reaction out of you, I'm always going to do it. So how the hell I'll come in there and I ain't gonna let a grown person do that to me. I'm gonna let a 2-year-old do it. Come on, man. I ain't gonna let a nigga 35 years old do me like that. But I'm gonna let a baby do it. I wish I would. I wish I would. Shoot, I'm telling them children show out all the time. I don't care about none of that. Well, I will walk off. I done said what I had to say. I'm gonna walk off. I ain't playing with you because I'm not finna entertain that. No, I ain't playing with you, man. I ain't on that. Shoot, that little boy right there. That boy, that used to be something serious, boy, when he about 3-4 years old. I'm telling you, man, Jamal right now like to start. Oh, you want a fox, huh? Well, let me go ahead and assert my dominance with you right now. Nigga, Joanne will straight look you in the face and not listen. Can't let her win, man. Don't get beat by a baby. Let the baby win. Go ahead, say it. 1 Corinthians 13.
Say, though I speak with the tongues of men and of Malachim and have not love, I have become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, and so that
I know y'all get frazzled by them children because y'all more emotional.
so that I could remove mountains and have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not love, it profit me nothing. Love suffer long.
Love do what?
Suffer long.
What else it do?
It's kind.
It's what else?
Envy not.
What else?
Want not itself.
What
Is
else?
not puffed up.
It's not what?
Not puffed up.
And what else?
Do not behave itself unseemly.
What else?
Seek not her own, and is not easily provoked.
None of those things sound anything like we heard what they was psychologists was describing what falling in love was. And this sounds like a love that's more enduring. But you know why people don't like this kind of love? Because it doesn't stoke the emotional roller coaster that people be looking for.
You know, on top of that, that's how they, like I said, equate sex with love. So
That too. Because that is one of the definitions for love in the dictionary is sex, which is crazy. Go ahead.
And say, think no evil. Rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. Bear all things, believe all things, hope all things, endure all things. Love never fails.
Love never fails. But we can see what we read with falling in love, that fails. Because what we seen with falling in love, there was no detailed pattern of behavior that a person could exhibit. When he's telling you what love is right here, this is a detailed pattern that can be exhibited. That's something we done looked at and we seen Yahuwah doing it in the Old Testament. We seen Yahushua doing it in the New Testament. You can see a pattern of behavior that you could model. So when he says, husbands, love your wives like a Mashiach loved the church, there's nothing emotional about that. This is a pattern of behavior that you can emulate. When you talk about falling in love, that's nothing you can emulate. And that's why I read those things with attachment, because this thing's telling you this is going back to, man, if you ain't right, man, if you had a negative situation with your parents, you're not going to be able to attach to another to deal with another adult in the first place. But again, I don't agree with any type of attachment, period. Maybe I ain't attached to no woman because I detached from my mama at an early age. And it wasn't because my mama did anything. I'm a man now. And hell, I'm paying bills in this hole too. Yeah, ain't no need for me to be attached to you now. I'm taking care of you. I may not be paying all the bills in here, but I'm paying enough. Nigga, I'm 16 years old, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? So that don't hit different. So now you begin to look at things from a different aspect. But I do believe if you have a healthy relationship with your parents, the need to be attached to another human being probably dissipates. To be honest. Come back to Revelation 17, man. Read me verse 4 again. I definitely think a lot of people had a lot of negative interactions with their parents, and it definitely precipitates their need to be attached to another human being because they weren't attached to their parents in the fashion that they would have desired.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great.
Mother
of harlots and abominations of the earth.
You know what I think about this here, right? I seen a woman on Thread say this here, right? It just popped in my mind. Dude said something, and the woman's response to him was, you need to love her inner child. That's a sign there's something wrong with you. Because as a grown adult, why do you have her inner child that I need to love? You know what I'm saying? You know who need to love that inner child? Your parents.